All right, y'all, so I'm back with another recipe. Now, I don't really have a name for this. It's just some creamy pasta, whatever you want to call it. But this is what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to use stuff that I already have at home because I don't feel like going to the store, so, you know, whatever. So I have some shrimp here, some jumbo shrimp that I finally was able to find in the stores. Some smoked sausage. Now you use whatever smoked sausage you like. We don't eat pork, so these are beef sausages, smoked sausages. Here is some tomato and green chilies. Now if you don't, I don't have a can of Rotel, so I just used green chilies and tomatoes and I mixed it in here. But if you are going to the store to get these ingredients, get a can of Rotel and it'll have everything that you already need in there. Now I have here some pepper jack cheese and some Mexican cheese. I normally would use Parmesan or mozzarella, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use this. I have garlic powder here, paprika, Italian seasoning, black pepper, salt, some heavy whipping cream, and my pasta, of course. Oh yeah, and some butter. So first thing first, you want to get your water going for your pasta noodles so that they'll be done when everything else is done. Okay, so to season my shrimp, I'm going to add in some Cajun seasoning. Now be careful with this. This is spicy, so you add as much depending on how spicy you like it. Garlic powder, paprika, and a little black pepper. So you're gonna mix this all in and sit this to the side. So we're gonna brown our sausages now. So I have a little garlic and butter in here, and I'm gonna let that melt. And now we're gonna add in the sausages and just brown those up. So you just get them nice and browned on each side. I like mine a little bit on the crispier side, so I'm gonna leave them in a few minutes more. Okay, so to a pan, you wanna add some butter and let that melt. I have some crushed garlic here. Now what you're gonna do is add in your heavy cream. You're gonna turn your fire up just a little bit so that this can come to a boil. So once your heavy cream comes to a boil, you're going to add in your tomatoes and green chilies. And like I said, if you can find that can of Rotel dip, I would suggest get that because then it has everything already in there. So you're gonna mix that in and let the tomatoes cook a little bit. So now I am going to season the sauce with black pepper, paprika, garlic powder, Cajun seasoning, a little salt, and some Italian seasoning. Put this all in. Now it's gonna start getting a little thick from the cream. So now to this, I'm going to add in a little bit of that pepper jack cheese. Now you see how thick and creamy it's getting? Now you can taste this and add more seasonings as you want. Okay, so our sauce is nice and boiling. Now what I forgot to add in the beginning, guys, was the spinach. I'm adding spinach to my pasta. This was fresh spinach, but I didn't want it to go old, so I froze it. But I'm going to add a little bit of that in there. Okay, so I'm going to add this in. And what I did was just chop it up into smaller little pieces. You guys can forget this step if you don't want the spinach or if you don't like spinach. But this is a good way to get the vegetables in because my kids will not eat it. So I mix it in with the pasta. And you add as much or as little as you want. Okay, so I got my sausage here all fried up. I'm going to add in there. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to add is my shrimp. You want to add the shrimp last because shrimp does not take long to cook at all. And if you want to kind of fry your shrimp before adding it, you can do that too. But you want to add these last and let them just sit in the sauce. Turn your fire to low and just let them sit in your sauce and cook. Okay, so you know your sauce and your shrimp is done. Once your sauce becomes pink and puffed up, then that means your sauce is ready. But it only should take like 5 minutes. It should not take that long at all. So now the sauce is done. I have my noodles here. I did not have enough noodles, so I have another pot over there going with some linguine noodles. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the sauce to this. I'm going to give that a nice stir. Now you want to let this sit for like 5 to 7 minutes so the sauce can get thick and stick to the noodles. So here it is also with the linguine noodles.